It's time to let your imagination ride free. Time for Dream Rides. Light up a fleet of sport bikes. Take the legendary ride up the coast of California. Let Superbike hero Eric Bostrom lead the way, and don't be surprised if you end up at a racetrack. Here's the dream of every kid aiming for big league motocross success. The Amateur National Championships, known throughout the sport simply as Loretta Lynn's. Mountain vistas, magnificent touring motorcycles. What better place for a reunion of riding friends than the spectacular Colorado Rockies? But if your dreams get crazy, filled with excitement and color and noise, then you gotta go to Sturgis. Dreaming of off-road paradise, a playground filled with dirt bike challenge and unlimited fun? We'll give it a name, Utah. And we'll ride it with two true heroes of the sport, Destry Abbott and Larry Rossler.
God, this is heaven.
Welcome to one of the prettiest spots on the Pacific Coast, Morro Bay. Hello everyone, I'm Dave Despain. I think it's all in the name. We're going to embark from here on a series of motorcycle adventures that truly deserve to be called dream rides. They said to me, close your eyes, dream up the ride you'd most like to take. Sport bikes, I thought. The California coast. And as long as we're dreaming, let's get Superbike hero Eric Bostrom to lead the way. Voila, my dream comes true. Hey, Eric, good to see you. We know the journey's going to be fun. I'm going to let you pick the destination. Where do you want to go?
We're a stone's throw from Laguna Seca, man. That's got my vote.
The racer comes out in him. He was the big hero there last summer, in part because of this guy, Al Ludington, Eric's crew chief. I want to know about this motorcycle. Are you happy with what they've given you here?
Yeah, Dave, it's just like the one I got in my garage at home. I love it.
I heard that. I want to know more about that. And the third member of our team, founder of the California Superbike School, Keith Code.
Dave.
Any lessons for us here before we take off?
Control's the only lesson on a motorcycle, you know, and I'm here to watch Eric, you know, because he always needs a little watching. Al definitely does. And you, I think you're going to be really under the microscope. I'm here for quality control.
I'm going to try to learn something from this guy, but mostly we're going to go have fun. Let's take a dream ride. So we leave Morro Bay behind and anticipate all the riding adventures that lie ahead. But we didn't get very far. The quaint coastal village of Cambria lured us to a stop. Founded in 1866, Cambria quickly became a major port and whaling station, surrounded by thriving mines, dairy farms, and ranches. The town was booming until 1889, when it caught fire. The fire department was hand-operated. You can guess the rest. If you also guessed that our interest here has to do with horsepower, take a bow. Hey, we're on the California coast. I got it in my head that we ought to go looking for this icon. And so we went looking for George Benson. Now, not that George Benson, the one that restores the Woodies. Good to see you, man. And I want to know why Woodies.
I had one in high school, drove it to the beach surfing, grew up in Southern California in the 60s. The Woody was the car. That's the one you had to have, and I had to have one, so, and I've had one since.
What was the appeal?
Well, at that time, they were very cheap vehicles. $25 to $100 would buy you one. My high school car was $25 and a $25 surfboard. Total investment, $50. We were down the road.
Let me see now. You multiply that by just about exactly 1,000.
Yes.
$50,000 will get you out the door with one ready to go.
Just about the same car. A lot nicer appearing now, of course.
And that would include buying it in whatever condition and
Right.
getting it back to the point that the typical customer takes it home.
Restoring the wood, restoring the mechanicals. Some people want the hot rod motor and hot rod suspension. Some people want to keep it all original. Just really has to do with how much you want to drive the car.
Hey, can we go for a ride?
Let's do it.
Cool. I
Let's
like
do it.
that. George's personal ride, a 48 Merc with a 350 Chevy making 330 horsepower. Junk when he bought it in 1989, he has lovingly restored the wood body, converted the entire powertrain, rebuilt and upgraded the chassis, brakes, suspension, and he's put 40,000 miles on the finished product. He has no plans to sell, but old George has learned that in the car world, you never say never. San Simeon, the official starting point of the Big Sur Coast Ride, 90 awesomely beautiful miles from here to Carmel. At this small port, construction supplies were unloaded for a very big house, Hearst Castle. The centerpiece of newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst's quarter-million-acre ranch is now a California State Historical Monument. Worth a visit, but not today. We got places to go. California's first official scenic highway, Route 1 is a challenging array of twists and bends, constantly overlooking some of the most spectacular scenery on the planet. It's really two rides, one to enjoy the road, another to savor the view. Pay close attention to your pace, keeping plenty of concentration in hand for both. The proximity of the Pacific ensures a temperate climate here, inviting year-round riding. Winters are mild but wet. Summer mornings are cooled by coastal fog, usually lifting by midday. Spring and fall are pure paradise. Big Sur's worldwide reputation attracts lots of traffic. Come midweek if you can. Accommodations range from rustic to luxurious. Here's a tip for you. If you're going to ride your motorcycle up Pacific Coast Highway with my buddy E-Boz here, stop in Nepentha for lunch. It's great. I have a question for you. A lot of racers say, nah, I don't ride on the street. You do ride some on the street. Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, we do a bit of riding. My brother and I both have cruisers. I got a Vulcan, and we have a good time on it. I've always said bikes, it doesn't matter what kind of bike. I love riding bikes, and whether it's dirt, street, or whatever.
We touched Al on your street bike at the top of the show. What was that story?
Well, when the ZRX 1100s got released in this country, we were on the East Coast in Loudon, and I have a friend there who owns a dealership in northern Massachusetts. He said, yeah, I'll cut you a good deal on one. So I bought it, and then I had to get it home. So I spent 5 days, put 3,700 miles on it, took state roads all the way from Massachusetts to LA. It was a great ride.
Pete, you ride much on the street? Or are you too busy with the school?
Well, the school does keep me busy, but I like to ride on the street. Cornering is the name of the game as far as I'm concerned, and corners where all the fun is. You know, that's what we've been doing here. This road has more character than a road should have. It's just so great. You know, the real spirit of the Pacific Coast Highway is this section that we're riding right now. It is awesome.
The average guy goes and buys a sport bike today. He's buying a tremendous amount of performance for the dollar. But the extent to which Ludington ratchets that performance up to get to your race bike, can you put that in any kind of perspective for us so we can imagine what it would be like to ride a super bike?
Well, the super bike is a great deal more of a machine, you know. The 600s are amazingly close. I can't even believe it, how good the ZX6s I'm riding today, I mean, the thing kind of does what I want it to do. It's a fun bike, but jumping to the next level on a super bike, it's quite a change. Just the motor and with the added horsepower, but then the really unique thing about riding a super bike is the suspension and the way the chassis handles the bumps. There's so much fine tuning, and when you get them good, bumps literally disappear. They just go away, and it's really unique.
You know what's happening when you get two guys like this, Eric, who really wants to win and has all the talent in the world, and Al, who totally cares about racing. I mean, he takes it personal, and he's
heard the term obsessed.
And so are most street riders about their riding. You know, it's a passion. It's a total passion. It's not a skill really. You know, it's an art, and you have to be passionate about art, and that's what it's all about.
And it seems to me it's something that we all want to do better. How do you teach that?
When people come to the Superbike School, we look at the 5 most obvious errors that riders of all skill levels make, you know, and those are like the foundation skills. And if somebody doesn't have those things nailed down, like good throttle control and how to turn the bike in, where to turn the bike in, and that type of stuff, then he's always going to be dealing with those things.
This is the 21st year of the California Superbike School, and over those 21 years, we've done almost 2 million miles on our Kawasaki's. They really are the best bikes for our students because they handle so well. They give an enormous amount of confidence, and that's what our riders tell us, that's what our students tell us.
What you need to do is forget about all that hard work and all that racing stuff. Go get on your street bike, unwind, have fun. I think we should do that. We're going to head on up Pacific Coast Highway, going to Laguna Seca. It was his idea. Back at the turn of the century, this road was little more than a wagon trail. Offshore, steamers did the heavy work, transporting goods and supplies. But navigation here is treacherous. For more than 100 years, the powerful beacon of Point Sur Lighthouse has guided ships in the night. Weekend tours are available to the public, weather permitting. Construction of the present highway took 18 years. In 1937, it opened the Big Sur coast to camping, hiking, and scenic motoring, considered a major recreational activity in California. On a motorcycle, though, it's more than that. It's a dream ride. 18 miles south of Carmel, Bixby Bridge is an architectural wonder turned world-class photo opportunity. It is one of the highest single-span concrete arch bridges in the world. It was built in just 11 months in the middle of the Depression at a bargain basement price of $202,000. Near Monterey, we make a quick jog off the Coast Highway, and Bostrom's heart begins to beat a bit faster. We're approaching our destination, legendary Laguna Seca Raceway, battleground of men and machines since 1957. Mission accomplished, destination achieved, Laguna Seca Raceway. Anybody remember who won all the AMA stuff here last summer? It was kind of like a sweep
I kind of think it was this guy over here.
Eric, when you come back to a racetrack like this where you've had such success, what kind of feeling do you get?
I'm getting the feeling that we need to go out and take some laps, you know? That's what this place is about. It's such a special rider's track, and we got 4 bikes. It's like, let's go.
How about it, big guy? Day off work, enjoy yourself?
Loved it. Beautiful ride, beautiful road.
Keith, you were going to kind of keep an eye on us, keep us honest, make sure everybody was, you know, exercising proper motorcycle control.
Sorry. Day off. I was just enjoying myself, and that was a real reward for me to be out here and ride up the coast with you guys. Beautiful ride, beautiful place. Laguna Seca is a exact perfect place. I'm glad you picked it.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate that. Hey, dream rides. Remember, sport bikes, California coast. But the thing is, we're just getting started. Check it out, the dream ride of every young American motocrosser. It's the AMA National Amateur Championships, held annually at Loretta Lynn's Tennessee Ranch. Qualifiers from all over the country come to this, the proving ground of champions, like Ricky Carmichael.
It is the biggest amateur race in the world.
Amateur motocross is where these kids grow up.
My first year here was 1988, I think. I got 4th in the 60 class. I was riding Kawasaki as a Team Green rider at the time, and you know, this is my roots. That's why I come back.
Rising star James Stewart is no stranger to Loretta Lynn's. He holds the record for the most Loretta Lynn titles, dethroning the former king Ricky Carmichael with the most races won here and the fastest lap time. This weekend is special. Stewart's last ride at Loretta's. Next year, he'll go pro.
The place is cool. I mean, like, the track is awesome. Everybody comes out here from anywhere. It's awesome. It's a good place.
Kawasaki's Team Green has played a major role in these success stories.
A lot of riders who come to our program, and it's amazing to see them when they're just a little tight, you know, and now what they are, and they've matured, and they're, you know, now they're becoming a premier rider in a premier class.
With the support from Kawasaki Team Green, they always supported me with a great bike, and I always had wonderful luck here. I won just about every year I came here.
Team Green been really good to me. They've been behind me since day one, and I won't forget them.
Our objective is to come here and give each and every rider the opportunity to do his very best.
The amateurs need that. They need that backing to get to the next level. You know, I gotta tip my hat to Team Green. Without their support, I don't think it'd be possible to be where I am today.
Coming up, the Colorado Rockies when Dream Rides continues. I'm Dave Despain, and this is Colorado. We call ourselves Speed Vision. Our estimated speed for the next segment, about 15 miles an hour. Monty Cottle's going to take us on a train ride, Monty. Tell me about, first of all, your piece of the Durango and Silverton.
Well, I'm the engineer, and today I have the engine number 478.
Talk about how this thing is powered, the kind of horsepower that it makes.
Oh, steam is great power. What's neat, I think, about this locomotive is that you can actually see the thing work. As far as horsepower, they actually rated these old ones in tractive force, and this, being a K28, exerts 28,000 pounds of force, but I think that it converts into somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 horsepower.
Welcome to the belly of the beast. If you're going to fire this thing, you better be in good shape. Dennis Cole raced Supercross to prepare himself for a career as a fireman. Tell me about what you're doing here.
Well, on a daily average, we shovel about 4 or 5 tons of coal. It works out to about 40 scoops a mile. They're not very heavy scoops, but it's a lot of scoops.
Hey, I grew up next to the train tracks and never got to ride one. This is a dream ride for me in Durango, Colorado. This is cool. From day one, the Durango and Silverton narrow gauge was a schizophrenic railroad. Built during the 1880s silver rush to haul precious ore from the mines to the smelter, it quickly attracted tourists who paid to go along for the scenic ride. Today, the silver is gone, the tourists remain. We're going to have to go fast to have a great ride. We're cruising along here at 15 miles an hour on the train headed for Silverton, Colorado. Mel, you've been riding motorcycles all your life. What keeps bringing you back to that? What do you like about it?
Probably the most fun, Dave, is the people. Getting together with old friends again, going to unique, special places on our motorcycles. But people is what really makes it fun.
Camaraderie.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Croc, this is a little different from the last time you were up here, huh?
This is a lot better, Dave. You know, last year we were here with the Vulcan Riders and Owners Club, the V-Rock Rally down in Ignacio. And, you know, we had a great time, but we didn't get to do the fun things like ride on the train and go up to see Silverton. This time we get to get out and see the countryside a little bit and enjoy the sights and sounds of Colorado.
Hey, we got beauty, we got scenery. We're going 20 miles an hour. What's missing here, kids?
Speed!
Let's go get the motorcycles. Welcome to High Country. Along Route 550, mountains ranging from 12 to 14,000 feet rise in the distance. Up in the passes, the air is thin and crisp. Coal Bank, Red Mountain. We stop at Molas Divide to breathe what is reputed to be the cleanest air in America. You know, who you're riding with can make or break a dream ride. Let me introduce you to my friends down on the end. Mel from Southern California, who works for Kawasaki. They were nice enough to let us use their motorcycles, but actually this is vacation for him. Laura Lynn comes all the way from Missouri, from the Midwest, to a little different kind of corner of the world here. We're glad you came along. Susan is also from Southern California, but kind of a beach person, Huntington Beach. Croft is last but not least, also works for Kawasaki. So for these two guys, it's kind of a busman's holiday, and I get the idea they're enjoying it. The change is dramatic from where we were to where we've arrived. I don't know, what is this, 10,000 feet? Anybody notice?
10,900.
10,900. Talk about the views. I mean, this is pretty spectacular, and I don't care who goes first, but this is pretty special.
This is God's country.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's a panorama. I mean, in every direction you look is a postcard.
Just when you think you're at the top of one mountain, you see another one that's even higher. So.
Yeah. Talk about the feeling that you get riding through this as opposed to driving.
Well, you feel those temperature changes. You smell the pine, the different scents. It's just great. It really, really is.
On this trip that I found that, you know, the scenery's been great, but every time we pass another motorcyclist, everyone's so friendly. Everybody's waving, you know, and it doesn't matter where you stop. We stopped here. Other motorcyclists have come by, asked us, you want to talk about the motorcycles, want to talk about the journey. You know, you always have a connection with somebody that you've never even met before. Right there on the road.
It's a bonding.
Most people pull over at these viewpoints and you don't exchange a hi. But motorcycle people always want to talk.
How many conversations do you suppose have started with, how do you like the fill in the blank, whatever? Right. What do you think, kids? Want to go ride some more?
Yeah.
Silverton is short for Silver Town, and the name says it all. This was a classic Western boom town until the silver petered out. Now it's an above-average tourist attraction, bolstered by its many historic buildings, a significant museum, and the train from Durango, all of which help to preserve the Victorian atmosphere. We had a fine lunch at the 100-plus-year-old Grand Imperial Hotel, scoped out the bullet hole behind the bar, and marveled at the quality of the entertainment.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
We're having a terrific time. Enjoying the mountains, the scenery, a lot of fun with our friends.
Having a lot of fun. Good roads, good tunes, good friends, good ride.
The ride continues in the mountains of Colorado. The stretch of Route 550 from Durango to Ridgeway is known as Million Dollar Highway. In truth, the riding experience is priceless. The upgrade to first class VIP pass section is from Silverton to Ouray, with a gold star placed squarely at the 11,018-foot crossing of Red Mountain Pass. The breathtaking descent demands that you choose between brisk apex clipping and admiring the view. Don't try to do both at the same time. Avalanche chutes are big here. To learn more, come in the winter and bring your helmet. 59 chutes between Coalbank and Ouray alone. The East Riverside Snow Shed protects the road from one of the most deadly. But hey, we're cruising Colorado in the summertime, keeping our eyes out for deer. If you're looking for a place to bed down during your Colorado Dream Ride, give a thought to Ouray. Nicknamed the Switzerland of America, most of the town's buildings are more than 100 years old, earning Ouray a place on the National Register of Historic Districts. The fact that the roads in and out of town are among the most spectacular in America, hey, that's a bonus. Against this spectacular mountain backdrop, an opportunity to reflect a little on how far this motorcycle thing has come. Are you guys old enough to remember when you did everything with one bike? I mean, you did it, you rode your touring, you did your sport riding, you rode it back and forth to work, and then weekends you take the lights off and go race it. And now here we are going touring with three very different, very specialized motorcycles. Talk about what that means to the person who's interested in getting into this.
Well, the reason I like to ride the Nomad is fuel injection, easy to start. Altitude has no effect on the motorcycle as far as its carburation and throttle response. I can ride two up comfortably, take all of our amenities we want to have for a long extended ride, and again, on a boulevard ride, it's a really good looking motorcycle. And we're also able to outfit it with some of our fire and steel accessories, like the backrest for the passenger, the running lights for night riding, that sort of thing. You can customize a bike with all the accessories available for it.
Makes sense. There's one segment. You're saddled up on the big guy. What's the advantage of that motorcycle?
You know, Dave, the Voyager really comes into its own as far as comfort. And you've got the wind protection, you've got cruise control, which we're not using the cruise control much here in the mountains, but out on the flatlands it comes in handy. And we got the stereo, and nothing like having little tunes, you know, while we're cruising the hills.
Alongside, I guess, those two motorcycles, which really are sort of two different approaches to the same end, is the Concourse, which is a little different bike. Talk a little bit about that.
Concours has been around for a number of years. We really don't change it because it's almost a perfect motorcycle when it was first designed for what it does, which is sport touring. Again, with all the amenities you want to take with you on a long extended ride. But it really performs well in challenging road conditions like twisty, mountainous roads.
We may have to come back and do this again.
Absolutely.
Don't go away. Genevieve Marie heads for Sturgis when Dream Rides continues.
I'm Genevieve Marie. Welcome to the world's biggest motorcycle rally right here in Sturgis, South Dakota. 21 miles northeast of Rapid City, Sturgis is the ultimate cruising convention. Sturgis, population about 5,000, swells to more than 500,000 for the world's largest motorcycle rally, the biggest outdoor event in North America. We cruised the town, then headed for the open road. There is so much to see. You could spend days traveling around the Black Hills of South Dakota. Spearfish Canyon's Highway 14A is lined with 1,000-foot-high limestone palisades as it twists through the 19-mile gorge. Canyon waterfalls like Bridal Veil make for popular roadside attractions. Deadwood, South Dakota was founded in 1876 following the discovery of gold. Reached by railroad 15 years later, the city developed as a trading center for the northern Black Hills region. awesome time riding here in Sturgis, South Dakota at the motorcycle rally. But let me introduce you to my friends, my riding buddies. This is Kelly, and this is Chad, and this is Steve. And I don't know about you guys, but I have had a great day. What was your most favorite part, Steve?
I'll tell you, being my first trip to South Dakota, I'm just overwhelmed with everything, and it's just all awesome.
Chad?
I'd say going up through Spearfish Canyon, the twisty roads and the rocks and the trees up at the top, and it just looked like it just went right up into the sky.
I've been here before, and I knew you guys were going to love that road.
That's our first time here, and it's just been beautiful, and the canyon and Bridal Veil Falls. And
I can't believe, you know, 500,000 people just come to this one place, are here purely for the love of motorcycling.
And anybody that really rides a motorcycle will tell you the same thing. It's you ride to live and you live to ride, and that's what it's all about.
The next day, we headed south. Mount Rushmore, America's most famous mountain, attracts 2.5 million visitors annually. The 60-foot granite faces of 4 presidents can be seen framed in the tunnels of Iron Mountain Road. The pigtail bridges on US 16A are the Highway Department's rendition of the spiral staircase. We headed towards Custer Park's 73,000 acres, home to a herd of 1,500 bison, and the 18-mile Wildlife Loop Road, where you can see other animals like deer, elk, and bighorn sheep. What a day, you guys.
It was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
One of the great things about riding in the open country for me is riding on a cruiser-style motorcycle. I have been on the Kawasaki 800 Drifter, and it is the most smooth motorcycle I have ridden in years. How about you, Steve? You're on the Mean Streak.
Yep, I've got the new Vulcan Mean Streak that we're riding. It's a new bike that's out for this year. It's really just a growth of the 1500 Vulcan line that Kawasaki has. This is a new model for it. It's sportier. It handles real good. It goes fast. It's got some improvements for horsepower and handling, and it is really, really a nice bike. It's one of the nicest bikes I've ever ridden.
Now we know everybody was looking at you today.
Well, and the color, too. It's really beautiful.
What were you guys on?
We're on the 1500 Classic fuel injected.
It has enough power forever. It's got a real nice instrument console. You can see what's going on there. Real comfortable in the turns, real planted. It goes where you point it. It's just a wonderful bike.
Well, I have had an awesome time with you guys riding the last few days. How, you want to sign up with me next year?
Sure.
We'll be there.
Cool. Okay.
Larry Rossler and Destry Abbott in the wilds of Utah, next on Dream Rides. It's called a Bajo Mountain, and the good news is we're going there with some pretty fast guys. Serious desert racers. Destry Abbott, reigning champion of the National Hare and Hound Series. Larry Rossler, desert racing legend, 10-time winner of the Baja 1000. Me, just an old guy they drug along. And Dale Perriott, who runs Elite Motorcycle Tours. You're in charge, man. Where are we going?
We're going to go run Spring Creek. We're going to run Wagon Wheel, go up to a Bajo Peak.
Let's go.
10,500 feet.
That'll work. We started our climb up the mountain from 7,000 feet just east of Monticello. I was curious how the bikes would perform in the rarefied air above 10,000 feet. I was not disappointed. So we've gone out and had a little taste of Wagon Wheel Trail. Some of us got a little taste of it personally. You two guys, you can vote. You can't because you're prejudiced. This is your tour. This is your country. How do you rate this ride?
Oh, it's right up there for sure.
Yeah.
You know, we saw deer today. I'm glad we didn't see any bear, though.
The deer are big. I'm glad they were in the woods.
No, it's great trail, you know, and when it rains, I mean, this is like glassy water when you're water skiing, or the big surf, or, you know, these are days like a fresh powder day of skiing. I mean, these are the days we dream for.
Yeah.
For us, you know, going to the race is so much pressure sometimes. Coming out here riding with all you guys, I'm having a great time. There's no pressure. Just having fun riding the new Kawas. It's having a great time.
Talk about, Dale, the importance of taking care of this. I mean, this is a precious thing up here.
We have adopted a straight-on trail maintenance program. We adopt trails on this mountain. Even when we're, if I have 5, 6 people on a tour situation, if we have down logs where people have to go around and go into the natural forest part and off the trail, we bring saws along, chop the logs down, washouts, things of that nature. It's the most important thing we have. This is our playground. It's our backyard. We don't want to litter it. We don't. We want to use it for the rest of our life and our grandkids' life.
And the rule is real simple. Stay on the trail.
Stay on a trail, absolutely. It's a steadfast rule, and we adhere to it.
What do you like about this part of the world? I mean, you take people around. What part of that do you like the best?
What people say and how people react about my country, it just makes me feel so good.
It's a spectacular place.
Yes. Yeah.
And Dave, whether you're a novice or a beginner or you're a pro, you know, I mean, a day out with your buddies on the trail is any day better in the office.
So you don't have to be pushing yourself at some limit to be able to get the satisfaction.
For example, my wife and kids, you know, we got them little Kawas too, and we go out and just have a great time riding. And it's fun for me watching my kids have a great time. I think it's a great family sport.
Hey, you can sit here on a log and talk about how much fun it is, or you can fire those things up, go out in the woods, and actually experience for yourself. What do you say we do that right now? You know what? This is what the serious dirt riders really love. This is single track. It's just been rained on. I wasn't going to do this part because it's wet, it's a little slippery, a lot of roots, and I thought, I don't need to fall down. The guys were great. They said, no, come on, we'll go slow. We'll get you up to speed. They kind of got me in here, told me what I was doing wrong, gave me some tips. So I'm still not doing it very well, but I got in here. That's the whole point. The first time you do it, maybe you don't do it well. The second time you do it better, keep doing it. Who knows, maybe someday you'll be Larry Rossler. I'll tell you, Rossler and Abbott are gone. I mean, they just hooked up. Larry kind of looked at me and said, well, why don't we put the helmet cam on Destry and then I'll lead and maybe we'll get out of low gear. And I sort of got the idea that maybe they wanted to go off and play. This is so much fun. You really need to come do this. I can sum up the appeal of Utah to the off-road motorcyclist in one word: variety. You like that slick single-track stuff? Wait till you see slick rock, sand washes. We're going to the desert. It's going to be hot, and it's going to be fun. Don't go away. Dream Rides. We'll be right back. Utah is paradise for off-road motorcyclists, and the key to paradise is variety. Behind me, the sandstone formations that help to make this place famous. Over on the other side of the state, Zion and Bryce National Parks, big tourist attractions. Here, the appeal is the opportunity to get on your motorcycle, ride the slick rock, ride the sand, ride in this spectacular setting on public land.
basically in the middle of nowhere. If you just seat into it, right, it springs it up, it springs the back end up and go up on top.
Located between the Green and Colorado Rivers, Whitewash is a great place to ride. This was filled with water just yesterday, leaving perfect traction for those of us who ride it today. The wash runs to the Colorado River, which eventually finds its way to Mexico's Sea of Cortez, some 700 miles away.
Trying to figure out great lines. Larry's teaching me how to ride.
I want to talk a little bit about hardware. We've been to the mountains, we've been to the desert equivalent of Ascot Park out there with you guys doing your flat track thing. You're accustomed to riding King Kong race bikes. You bring people up here that don't have maybe a level of skill. I'm a complete bozo, and yet we all got out here basically on two little motorcycles, a two-stroke and a four-stroke, and everybody seemed to have fun. Were you guys faking it here, or talk a little about that?
Absolutely not. You know, that's what's so cool about these bikes. They're really versatile, and doesn't matter if you're a beginner, novice, or a pro level. You can go out there and have fun. And we talked earlier about the reliability of the bikes. That's really important. You don't want to be out here in the middle of nowhere and having problems. So, absolutely fantastic.
You like the two-strokes for your business?
Oh, they're wonderful. They start every time, and they've got plenty of power. They're a perfect motorcycle for playing. Perfect.
When you guys were up on climbing the rock, one of you made the comment that, I mean, the thing's just like a tractor. You just put it in low gear. You don't have to be fiddling with the clutch. I was struggling a little bit. But
that's a big advantage with the four-stroke motor. I think it's tractability-wise. It's really user-friendly, real smooth power delivery. So on slippery surfaces, even up on the single track, four-stroke just lays that power down real nice.
Do you enjoy the role, and I hope you don't hate this part, of sort of elder statesman of off-road riding?
Absolutely not.
You think
no,
that's okay?
I love it.
Doesn't bother you being
Doesn't bother
100
me
years old or whatever?
Doesn't bother me at all. I'm, you know, I've had my day, and you know, I've won the Baja in 6 days, and you know, recently I was in the AMA Hall of Fame with heroes of mine that I grew up with, and then when I do get an opportunity to race with Destry and some of the other Team Green guys, and the, you know, even our competition, and I'm in there scrapping with them, and we come off the track and they go, "What in the heck got into you today?" You know, I mean, I get a kick with it, you know, and they'll come up and say, "Hey, old man, you know, what are you gonna take it easy on us today?"
Elder statesman Rossler could be the poster boy for one of my favorite motorcycle t-shirts. It reminds us, quote, "You don't quit riding because you get old because you quit riding." Watching Rossler in action is my definition of growing old gracefully. And so we have arrived at the end of the trail, the end of the ride, the end of the day, and the end of the show, all at the same time. I just love it when the plan comes together. And I want to leave you with a thought about our future. For years now, motorcycle experts and analysts have worried because our population was growing older. The real concern, where will the next generation of riders come from? Here's the latest. I'm happy to report that the second largest category of motorcycles right now in terms of sales is under 125cc enduro bikes. You know what those are? Those are dirt bikes for kids. The next generation of motorcycle enthusiasts are already out there. They're going to be enjoying their dream rides for many years to come. I'm happy about that. I'm Dave Despain. Thanks for being here.